Hi, this is Javin Kharu, chemical engineer by profession, going to continue today's topic cracking. Now, what is cracking? Cracking is a technique used in oil refinery whereby large and complex hydrocarbon molecules are broken down into smaller and lighter components. They are more useful for commercial or consumer use. Cracking is a critical stage in the process refining crude oil. Now, other petroleum products, heating oil, diesel fuel, gasoline, rarely on cracking. Cracking is a process used in oil refinery in order to derive a sellable byproduct from the crude oil. Some of form of oil such as light, sweet, crude require relative limited refining in order to solve. Depending on factor such as production rate, different petroleum byproduct, relative value of commodities such as heating oil and gasoline can fluctuate over time, creating speculative or hedging opportunity in commodity traders. Now, how cracking works? Now, extraction from the well crude oil in its raw form contain a blend of large and complex hydrocarbon molecules. Although crude oil is valuable even raw form, the economic usefulness is relatively limited until it has been subject to additional refining process. In order to help the crude oil into form that can more widely utilize, the first and foremost stage refining process is breakup or crack the unprocessed hydrocarbon molecule into smaller components. The stage commonly referred cracking make possible to turn crude oil into a variety marketable fuel, lubricant and other products. All through the basic component, all cases, the process of cracking can be implemented variety of way. The common application non-fluid catalytic cracking. They are used production gasoline as well as various distillate fuel. Now, a single product crack reflects the difference between price of 1 barrel of crude oil and 1 barrel the specified product. For example, crude oil into gasoline. Refining, investor also implement crack strategy against multiple products. For example, barrel of oil into gasoline, kerosene, jet fuel and heating oil. Cracking is integral part of oil refinery. Crude oil is refined using method called fractional distillation. The method crude oil is derived into several fractions based on boiling point of constituent molecule. The fractions are heavy gas, oil, lubricating oil, gas oil, and diesel, kerosene, gasoline, naphtha, and gas. In order, length, and arrangement, molecules are varied, and as result, they are displayed various characteristics, include boiling point. Now, cracking can be defined process used in oil refinery to break down a large and complex hydrocarbon molecule into lighter, smaller hydrocarbon. They are better suited industrial consumer uses. A crucible step in refinement of crude oil cracking. Cracking is done by breaking carbon-carbon single bond present in long chain hydrocarbon alkane and usually produce smaller alkene and alkenes. The products may vary depending on temperature and catalyst. All through a high temperature very essential. The first and most important step refining process is fragment or crack. Unprocessed hydrocarbon molecule into smaller part in order to assist transform crude oil into form that can extensively utilize the process known cracking, enable conversion of crude oil into range of commercial valuable fuel, lubricant and other goods. Now fundamental idea always the same. There are numerous ways to carry out cracking process. The process known catalytic cracking. They are used to create a various distillate fuel, well gasoline and typical applications. in the petroleum refining, petrochemical industries. Method employed to create gasoline, diesel, and petrol. The process dissolves complex alkane into complex alkene and alkenes in chemistry. Similar, the hydrocarbon crack when complex long chain hydrocarbon is broken down into smaller. Now, understand the mechanism, cracking mechanism. The method incorporates a variety of free radical based chemical processes. There are several crucible reactions happens. Initiations. Now single molecule is integrated into a two free radical, the initial step. Now small portion of the liberated radical through initiation, but it is essential to generate enough free radical continue to complete reactions. Abstractions of hydrogen. In case free radical regenerated remove atom of hydrogen and third molecule, resulting formation radical and lower alkane. Now radical decomposition step and radical split into alkane and another free radical. The byproduct reactions are alkanes. Terminations. Now, two radicals join in reaction to create a product. They are not free radical. One is lower alkane and other is alkane additions. Here cracking type, thermal cracking, the conversion, residual oil and diesel, fuel oil, petrol, naphtha, large non-volatile hydrocarbon are broken down into gasoline during the process. In the procedure, higher pressure, 7000 kilopascal and temperature both are. Homolytic fission takes place in space between the bond and the carbon. They are found in hydrocarbon. Many industrial processes utilize the reaction, most notably the manufacturing burner fuel. The method produces important alkane necessary large-scale manufacturing plastic and polymer. Second step, steam cracking. Saturated hydrocarbon are broken down into smaller, frequently unsaturated hydrocarbon by petrochemical process known steam cracking. The process main commercial method manufacturing lighter olefin such as ethane, ethylene, propane, propylene. Pyrolysis is another name of the process. Method tough to be extremely helpful, creating alkane due to high level latent heat energy present in the steam and feedstock, naphtha, liquefied petroleum gas, ethane, propane, and butane thermally split into yield lighter hydrocarbon in steam cracker unit. Now, the process steam cracking gaseous liquid hydrocarbon feed, naphtha, LPG, ethane, diluted steam, heated for a brief period of oxygen-free furnace, a reaction temperature very high, about 850 degree centigrade. Third is fluid catalytic cracking, conversion, gas oil and residual oil, diesel and petrol, extremely cost-effective and energy efficient. Petroleum refinery employ fluid catalytic cracking to maximum level. Solid acid catalyst, Lewis acid like silica aluminate must be present for catalytic cracking process. Catalysts typically include zeolite and silica aluminate. The catalysts lead to breaking of long carbon-carbon bond by the creation of carbocation and promoting their rearrangement. Catalytic cracking occurs lower temperature, thermal cracking, which conserve energy. Furthermore, yield of alkane reduced while operating lower temperature. The catalyst divide into lengthy molecule chain into shorter counterpart. Due to olefinic composition, the gasoline generated in fluid catalytic cracking higher octane rating but less chemically stable than the other gasoline constitute. Due to rising demand of the gasoline, fluid catalytic cracking is more prevalent in all over across the country. Hydrocracking. Catalytic cracking added by hydrogen gas during hydrocracking process. Carbon-carbon bond are broken down using it. The major product from its process diesel jet fuel LPG. It is based fusion of two disconnect process non-catalytic cracking and hydrogenation. Feedstock are used to crack present hydrogen in order to produce desired product. Vacuum gas oil, heavy proportion petroleum stove, the major feedstock is the process. Saturated hydrocarbons are the end product of the process. Depending on reaction circumstances, temperature, pressure, catalyst, activity, the product can range from higher hydrocarbons such as ethane, liquefied petroleum gas, to heavier hydrocarbon, primary isoparaffin. Elimination and contamination include sulfur, nitrogen, trace metal is also added. Hydrocracking gases include hydrogen sulfide, create removable easily. Now cracking its importance. It is beneficial to maintain supply and demand fraction fuel in the present day world due to high fuel efficiency, lower carbon chain hydrocarbon. It is important crack down long chain hydrocarbon obtained refinery during fractional distillation as produce effective fuel. Now percentage oil refinery produce supply, how much proportion consumed, want to purchase demand. In most cases fractional distillation crude oil result lower quantity and other smaller hydrocarbon consumed want to more larger hydrocarbon can be sold. Petrol means gasoline. Yeah. Other smaller hydrocarbon work better for fuel larger hydrocarbon, and the availability of the fuel increase because of cracking breakdown larger hydrocarbon into smaller one, aid in balancing supply and demand. Another important of the cracking production is multidimensionally utilizable alkane. The result alkane compared to alkenes, alkane are more reactive. They are served raw material, petrochemical sector, making various polymer, plastic, etc. Cracking uses. Many significant compounds are made cracking byproduct such as ethane, propane, buta, 1,3-diene, C4-alkane. To increase octane rating, additional compound, branch and cyclic alkane are added to gasoline fraction over after distillation crude oil. Now, problem. Another conversion long chain hydrocarbon to smaller one via cracking we observe with solution. Long chain hydrocarbon have high molar mass and hence there are stronger van der Waals force of attraction between them, unlike the chain hydrocarbon have intermolecular force. Hence the boiling point of the smaller chain hydrocarbon obtained cracking expected lower than the long chain hydrocarbon. What are long chain hydrocarbon not efficient as a fuel? Now its solution. Intermolecular force between the longer hydrocarbon molecule is stronger. They have greater boiling point and to separate them. More energy is required. So being less volatile, they become less flammable and result they are less efficient fuel. Now, catalysts use fluid catalytic cracking. Among the catalysts employed fluid catalytic cracking procedure, the main ones are fluid catalytic cracking, ammonium silicate zeolite ZSM, and silica alumina Al2O3 Si. Now what are kerogens? The hydrocarbon, they are insoluble, typical solvent like carbon tetrachloride but produce liquid and gaseous petroleum. They are heated referred to kerogen. Now, frequently asked questions. What are petrol compositions? In combinations of the hydrocarbon, 5 to 10 carbon atom range can be found in petrol. Straight chain alkane contain high combination of C5 to C10 hydrocarbon derived differently from of distillation of crude oil. Engine of car suffers several harm. This mixture utilize gasoline. Hence, straight chain alkane, they are transformed into branch chain alkane, cycloalkane and aromatic hydrocarbon. In the number of the process, the refinery finally obtain commercially sourced petrol because of they are much more knock resistance. What are knocking? In this cylinder, an automobile engine, gasoline with high concentration straight chain alkane have tendency to ignite a piston with pressure. Before the cylinder reaches ideal position, a spark is generated. An ignite mixture of air and gasoline at a specific location of piston, the cylinder causing knocking sound. This is called knocking. Engine knock and pre-ignition, there are two terms used to describe the issue. Early ignition, when pre-ignition audible and perhaps knock is employed, serious engine damage might result several knock. What are octane number and octane rating? In octane rating is measurement how heat resistance of fuel is avoid knocking. Octane does not improve combustion. Rather than it stops the air-fuel mixture inside the engine from igniting earlier than it should. Resistance of a fuel knocking increases with increases octane. The resistance of gasoline mixture knocking increases with increases octane number. Higher compression ratio, trouble charging and downspeeding, they are made possible use of higher octane fuel, which are increases engine performance efficiency. What are catalytic cracking beneficial as compared thermal cracking? Now, the industries of refining crude oil make extensive use of catalytic cracking transform viscous piston lighter and more valuable gasoline petroleum-based fraction. Catalytic cracking has replaced thermal cracking and result rise in demand gasoline. With higher octane rating, they are highly efficient automobile industries. Catalytic cracking require less temperature and pressure, hence energy efficient. Okay guys, this is up to about cracking operations as far as refinery is concerned. I hope you get sufficient knowledge after watching this video. Next Sunday, we have covered some another chemical engineering topics. Till then, goodbye. Do take good care of yourself.